You're listening to WEOP AM 730, the voice of inquiry. It's time for Echoes of Persuasion with your host, Colt Thornton.
Credibility is the easiest illusion to believe. It doesn't need mirrors or smoke, just confidence and a steady voice. The kind of voice that makes you stop questioning and start trusting. That's where persuasion lives. I'm Colt Thornton, and this is Echoes of Persuasion. Flat Earth influencers don't just make arguments, they build personas. Watch enough of them and you'll spot the pattern. Polished videos, confident voices, and those catchy repeated lines that sound friendly, even charming. These signature openings and taglines aren't casual. They're part of the brand. And to their audience, those touches make them feel credible, trustworthy, even smarter than the so-called mainstream. But looking credible isn't the same as being right. That's the credibility illusion, one of persuasion's most subtle and effective tricks. Let's break down how it works, why it's so convincing, and how to see through it. Flat Earth influencers love to say, trust your senses, think for yourself. And rhetorically, they make that easy. They wrap their message in the appearance of expertise, calm delivery, just enough jargon to sound scientific, and just enough folksy warmth to sound real. That's the core of the illusion. Credibility, ethos, is one of the three classic pillars of persuasion, along with logic and emotion. When someone seems knowledgeable, honest, and confident, we're inclined to believe them. But ethos can be manufactured. You don't need expertise to look credible. You just need to sound sure of yourself, wear the right mask, deliver the right lines, and make the audience feel in on something. The illusion works because it taps into a basic instinct. We trust people who look like they know what they're talking about. And flat earthers have mastered that art, appearing knowledgeable while proving almost nothing. They don't just seem credible, they construct it. Every detail from dress to camera angle is designed to earn your trust. A map on the wall, a telescope in the corner, a laser pointer across a lake. These props don't prove anything, but they look like evidence. A simple desk and microphone can become a studio, and once the stage feels professional, the message feels legitimate. They open with slogans, research flat earth. Water always finds its level. There's no curvature. Gravity is just a theory. Loaded language, every one of them. Emotional hooks disguised as statements of fact. Repeated until they sound like truth. Disagree, and suddenly you're the unreasonable one. Sound confident enough and most people won't question you. Add some technical noise. Vanishing point, perspective distortion, buoyancy overtakes gravity, and the illusion deepens. It's argument by verbosity. Overwhelm the listener with complexity until they assume it must be right. Then drop a few acronyms, ADI, Sanyak, and you've got instant science-flavored credibility. Never mind that the science is wrong. The rhythm, the calm certainty, the unblinking confidence, that's what sells it. A few thousand likes, a wall of cheering comments, and suddenly, you're not hearing a lone voice, you're joining a movement. Popularity becomes the new proof, and critical thought quietly exits the room. This is the confident truth seeker. This is their masterpiece. They don't claim to be experts, they claim to be brave. Just ordinary people asking questions, telling stories of isolation and awakening. They're not scientists, and that's the point. I don't need credentials to see what's in front of me. It's an emotional appeal wrapped in defiance, pathos disguised as independence. And once you see them as one of you, conviction feels like evidence. Here's the thing, they don't need proof, because persuasion doesn't hinge on proof. It hinges on perception. We're wired to trust confidence. From childhood, we're taught to follow those who sound certain. That's authority bias, the instinct to believe anyone who looks or sounds like an expert. Flat Earth influencers use that bias against us. Every prop, every phrase, every calm delivery is part of a performance built to feel like truth. It's stagecraft. They bypass your skepticism by sounding unshakable. They replace evidence with emotional trust. And once that illusion takes hold, you stop checking the facts because you think you already know them. So how do you spot the credibility illusion when it's dressed up and smiling for the camera? Ask simple questions. Do they cite verifiable sources or just each other? If every link leads back into the same small circle of voices, that's not evidence. It's an echo chamber. Do their credentials hold up? Wearing outsider status like a badge of honor doesn't make it valid. Expertise is verifiable. Ego isn't. Do their arguments survive outside the script? Press them with questions. When confidence crumbles under pressure, it wasn't truth. It was performance. Do they overwhelm instead of explain? If the message leaves you impressed but not informed, that's not education. That's manipulation. Do they rely on the crowd more than the facts? Numbers aren't knowledge. 1 million views can still be 1 million misunderstandings. We began with an illusion, the kind that wears confidence like armor. But that's how persuasion works best, when the performance becomes the proof. What sounds certain isn't always true, and what's true rarely needs to sound certain. Join me next time for another episode of Echoes of Persuasion, and always remember, the echoes fade, but persuasion never sleeps.